Today's our topic is electrolysis of molten or fused NaCl. Okay, how do they actually do the electrolysis? You see, first we'll be writing molten NaCl here, molten or fused. Molten NaCl will contain ions. The ions will be +1 and chloride ion is -1. Write like this. It contains sodium ion and chloride ion. Don't say chlorine ion, chloride ion. Then we write the reaction at cathode. C means cathode and A means anode. Yes. Okay. As I told yesterday, the electrodes are. What are electrodes? Okay. How we do it? We take a container, and here we are taking the electrolyte, which is molten NaCl. This is molten NaCl, Okay, the container in which the electrolysis is carried out, it is called electrolytic bath, BATH, electrolytic bath. Electrolytic cell also you can call it, or you can call it a voltameter. This is called a voltameter, voltameter. What is a voltameter? Voltameter is a container in which electrolysis is carried out. There is a difference between a voltameter and a voltmeter. Voltmeter is an instrument which measures voltage, whereas voltameter is the container in which electrolysis is carried out. Okay, a good voltameter must have three properties. A voltameter must have three properties. First, it must be a bad conductor of electricity. Voltmeter must be a bad conductor of electricity because when you handle it, when you touch it, it should not give you any shock. Secondly, a voltmeter should be a bad conductor of electricity. Second point is that it must be chemically inert. That means it must not react with the electrolyte. Because electrolyte is coming in contact with the electrolyte. It must not have any chemical reaction with it. It should be chemically inert. We can say that. Third point, it should be cheap and easily available. So I think you got the idea of voltameter. Now another idea. Whenever we are using molten electrolyte, that means electrolyte will be very much hot. So there, what material do we choose? We choose the material silica. Silica container will use. Silica material will use for voltameter. Voltameter will be a silica voltameter because silica is heat resistant. It can withstand the high amount of heat. If you use glass, the glass will crack. Cannot withstand that heat because glass is also a bad conductor of electricity. So we choose silica in that case. Silica will be the material for voltameter. If we are using a molten electrolyte over here, molten is very hot. If we are having an acid over here, acid, that means it is cold only but it is an acid, there we can use glass container. But the problem with the glass is delicate, so we can go for bakelite. I think you have seen a car battery. Car battery, the black material is called bakelite, Bakelite. Just keep in mind, that is not important, just keep in mind, okay? But silica you have to know, in case of molten electrolyte, we are using silica. Now, we have to pass current through this electrolyte, we have to pass current in it. So, current will be passing with the help of a source, like this. Positive, this side will be negative. With the help of two conducting plates, like this. Two conducting plates, we will have to pass current in the electrolyte. One plate is connected to the positive end, that is called anode, and denoted by A. Negative end is connected to the plate connected to the negative end of the source will be called cathode. This will be positively charged. The entire thing is positively charged, and this entire thing is negatively charged. And as a whole, these two plates are called electrodes. What are electrodes? Electrodes are the conducting plates through which we send current in the electrolyte. What properties a good electrode should have? We say a good electrode should be a good conductor of electricity. They also must be chemically inert. They must be chemically inert, and they must be cheap and easily available. Voltmeter and these electrodes almost have the same properties except the first point. Voltmeter must be a bad conductor of electricity and this must be a good conductor of electricity because it has to conduct current. You cannot use a bad conductor of electricity, these electrodes. Normally, what material is best material for using electrodes? The answer is graphite. Because graphite is a good conductor of electricity. It is cheap and easily available and it is chemically inert. Because in the electrolyte there is no oxygen. So there we will be using graphite. So the material, normal material for these two is graphite. We use graphite material, graphite electrodes we use. But that is both cathode and anode are made up of graphite. If where oxygen is coming, so we cannot use graphite because graphite will be reacting with it. So what is the other choice with us? The other choice is platinum. But the problem with that platinum is it is expensive. We cannot use it on a large scale. We cannot use it in the form of plates. It will be very expensive. It may not be easily available also. But then platinum we can use only in the form of thin wire or in the form of filament only it can be used. Because platinum will not be reacting with oxygen also because it is very less active or the least active metal. Where we cannot use graphite, we go for platinum but in the form of thin wire. But some cases, no, I think I have done the case of aluminium oxide, electrolytic reduction of aluminium oxide by Hall-Héroult process when we were doing the chapter metallurgy and particularly the extraction of aluminium. If you remember over there, the electrolyte was aluminium and oxygen. Oxygen was forming at cathode and that oxygen was reacting with the anodes which was graphite anodes. Actually, their oxygen was there, but according to the criteria, we should not use graphite because graphite is reacting with it. Yet we use graphite there. The reason is because graphite is much cheaper than platinum. Because platinum, the other choice is very expensive and we are manufacturing on a large scale. So there we consider the cost factor. Extraction time we can never afford platinum because platinum is very expensive. So there we don't mind using graphite, let them react, let them get burnt. That's why we are using a number of anodes and we replace it, we change them by a new set regularly, periodically. So over there I thought we use a number of anodes for the electrolytic reduction of aluminium oxide. So that is a kind of exception on there. Though graphite is not inert there. Graphite is reacting with the oxygen liberated. Rather it is getting burnt or getting oxidized, forming carbon dioxide. But we don't mind using graphite because it is much cheaper than platinum. So that case you must keep in mind. In one case we have to compromise this criteria, that chemically inert criteria, because graphite is much cheaper than platinum. The other choice is very expensive. Hope you understood this point. Now the plates which we are using out here, cathode and anode, they cause chemical change in the electrolyte. What kind of chemical change? Or there will be reactions taking place at the cathode and at the anode. You have to see the reaction at cathode. Cathode and anode reaction. Cathode is negatively charged plate. It will attract the positive ion because negative attracts the positive. So positive ions will be attracted by cathode. It will come like this, Na plus 1. What does plus mean? Plus means there is a loss of one electron, so it will gain one electron and it will become neutral, Na. It will change into sodium metal. Sodium is the softest solid metal that can be cut with a knife. That means what is the product at the cathode? The product at the cathode is sodium metal. And we say that the cathode is discharging the sodium ion. What is the meaning of discharging? Discharging is removing the charge, making it uncharged, neutral. That is the meaning of discharging. So cathode discharges which ion? Positive ion. Or we say positive ion is discharged at the cathode. That's why positive ion is given the name cation. Cations. Ion meant for cathode. That is the meaning of cations. Similarly, the anode will pull the negative ions. The negative ion comes here. What is the meaning of negative side? That it has gained one electron, so it will lose one electron and it will become Cl. It has gained one electron, so it will lose one electron and become neutral. It will also discharge. So this Cl alone does not exist. You write Cl plus Cl ultimately is becoming chlorine gas. That is, chlorine is a form of gas. Greenish yellow gas will be seen. Greenish yellow gas will be seen evolving through the anode. Anode will give greenish yellow chlorine gas coming out. That will be your observation. And that is the reason why negative ion is called anion. Because this is the ion getting discharged at the anode, or anode attracts this. Or this ion is meant for anode. So we call it anion also. So we have cations and anions. Because this ion discharges at cathode, this ion discharges at the anode. So we give the name cations and anions. Now what material are we using, cathode and anode? Because there is no oxygen, we are using graphite. Both of the materials for cathode and anode are graphite. This is material we are using. Okay. In chemistry we have two types of reactions, oxidation and reduction. What is oxidation? It is a process of addition of oxygen, removal of hydrogen and the loss of electron. And what is reduction? It is a process of just the reverse, addition of hydrogen, removal of oxygen and the gain of electrons. So we check what kind of reaction is taking place here, oxidation or reduction. Plus means it is gaining electron. This ion is gaining electron. That means reduction reaction is taking place here. Reduction reaction is taking place at cathode. And at anode there is a loss, is losing electrons. So oxidation is taking place at the anode. So both the reactions, reduction and oxidation, occurs simultaneously at the cathode and the anode. That's why the electrolysis is known as redox reaction. Redox, R-E-D-O-X, redox. Red means reduction and OX means oxidation. Reduction and oxidation taking place simultaneously. We use the word called red cat. You can remember this. Red means reduction taking place at C. Cat means cathode. So at cathode, what kind of reaction takes place? We say reduction, and at anode, what type of reaction takes place? We say oxidation. And both the reactions is taking place simultaneously. That's why we call it a redox reaction. Redox. Yeah. What is the observation? What we will see when we do electrolysis of NaCl? What do we see at the anode? What is our observation? Greenish yellow chlorine gas coming out. One easy method of seeing is, if this is plus, this will come plus. If this is minus, the middle sign will also come minus. Okay. Now, another thing. Sometimes they give a general equation and you have to check whether oxidation or reduction is happening here. You check and tell me what type of reaction is taking place here. I write Fe minus 3 is becoming Fe plus 3. What reaction is this? Oxidation or reduction? What reaction is this? Tell me. What reaction is it? Whatever it is, oxidation or reduction, what is it? How do you know? Because Fe is losing electron, loss of electron is called oxidation, yes. This is oxidation. What type of reaction is this? Oxidation, reduction, what type of reaction? This is gaining electron plus. That means what type of reaction is this? And this one, this last one, because of minus sign, it is oxidation. Sometimes what they do, they will write this way. Suppose they are giving as Cl minus, and out here they are giving as Cl. Okay. One reaction is given like this. What type of reaction is this? Is it oxidation or reduction? Check and tell me. What type of reaction is this? How do you know? Minus means for losing or gaining. What is it? Amanas, what type of reaction is this? Is it oxidation or reduction? What is it? See, don't check just now. Bring electron this side. When you shift electron on the left hand side, what side it will become now? Minus will become what? Plus. That means anything, it is gaining electron this part. This is gaining electron or losing electron. What is happening? The gaining is what? Gain is for reduction, no? This is reduction reaction. This reaction is reduction. Similarly, if they show that is Fe plus 3 and out here they are showing that is Fe plus 2 minus E. What reaction is this? Oxidation reduction. What is it? This one out here. Yeah, because minus E will come this and become plus E. There is a gain of electron. Similarly, if they write that is Fe2 here and Fe3 over here, what reaction is this? Oxidation reduction. And out here is written plus. What reaction is? What reaction? Because my plus E will come this side become minus E. That means this one will lose electron. So instead of showing the electron in the left hand side, they are showing on the right hand side. Whenever they show the electron on the right hand side, bring it to the left hand side and check the sign. Plus is happening or minus is happening. If plus is happening, the reduction, that is gain of electron. If minus is happening on the left side, then it will be oxidation. So accordingly, you have to decide what kind of reaction is taking place. They may give a general question checking oxidation and reduction. So I think you got it. Okay, now understood how we are doing electrolysis of NaCl and what are the products at the cathode and the anode. Product at the cathode is sodium metal, product at the anode is chlorine gas, Cl2 gas, the greenish yellow chlorine gas coming out. If question comes like this, a compound is electrolyzed in the Monterey state and a greenish yellow gas is seen to be evolving through anodes. Greenish yellow gas. Name the anion present in the electrolyte. Name the anion present in the electrolyte. What is the name of the anion? Cl. What is the name of it? Yeah, Cl minus 1 or just at 1 minus chloride. You must say chloride or there. Chloride ion. Anion is chloride. Okay, so we have done the electrolysis of NaCl. Now we are doing the electrolysis of lead bromide. Next one is lead bromide. Next electrolysis is molten PbBr2, lead bromide. Lead molten we write PbBr2 over here. Solid state we cannot do the electrolysis. We have taken the molten state. So this will also contain ion. What ion it will contain will show. Pb plus 2 ion and bromide ion minus 1. But there are 2 Brs, so we will write 2 at the back. So what ions are present in the molten bromide? We say lead ions and bromide ions. Now I will be writing the reaction at cathode and anode. Okay. What materials are they made up of? Cathode and anode are made up of which material? Which material are they made of? Yeah, graphite, because there is no oxygen. They are made up of graphite. And can you guess what material are we using for voltameter? What material, what container, what type of, which material container are we using here? Silica, because molten. Okay. So cathode will discharge which ion? Plus ion or minus ion? Which ion will discharge? Cathode? Yeah, this will come here at cathode. Right here, Pb plus 2 plus 2E will change into lead metal. This is silver grey lead metal. Silver grey lead metal we have. Anode will discharge which ion? Anode, negative ion, this is this one. Here there are two methods of writing this reaction over here. You can take only Br over here, like this Br minus 1, then you write minus 1, it becomes Br. Then Br, again you have to make it stable, like Br plus Br become Br2, bromine. Bromine vapor will come out, this is the sign of vapor. Brown vapor will come out, brown. Either we can do this or we can directly do like this in one shot. Br minus will be what here? 2 into minus 1, we will write minus 2e. This 2 multiplies this and become minus 2e. Directly we can add bromine. Directly. So either this way or this way we can show it. One of the way you can use to show the reaction taking place at the anode. If you show this way, only Br, if you show, you have two-step reaction. And if you show direct one step will do. And the color of bromine is say vapor and the brown vapor. They are saying a compound is electrolyzed or molten bromide is electrolyzed. Mention two observations. What will you see? What will you observe? Mention two of your observations. Mention two observations when lead bromide is electrolyzed. What are the two observations? The answer is silver grey lead metal is obtained at cathode and brown vapor is seen to be evolving through the anode. Yeah, suppose question comes like this. A compound is electrolyzed and a reddish brown vapor is seen to be evolving through the anode. What is the anion present in the electrolyte? Name the anion present in the electrolyte. What is the name of the anion? What is the name of the anion present? A compound is electrolyzed and a reddish brown vapor is formed at the anode. Reddish brown vapor formed at the anode. What is the name of the anion? What is the name of the anion? Not bromine, bromide. You are reading lead bromide, no, it is bromide ion. Chloride ion, don't say chlorine ion. You have to say bromide ion, okay. Alright? Okay, now what type of reaction is taking place at the cathode? What type of reaction is taking place? Reduction. Always reduction takes place at cathode and oxidation taking place at the anode. This is also the example of redox reaction. All electrolysis are redox reaction. This reduction and oxidation take place simultaneously at cathode and anode. If we are doing the electrolysis containing a metal and non-metals, on which electrode we expect to get a metal? Cathode or anode? On which plate we will get? On which electrode we will get metal? Cathode always will get metal because it discharges the metallic ion, that is positive ion. And the non-metal gas and all will be formed always at the anode, non-metallic thing. Okay. Sometimes we ask this question also: which of the electrode is oxidizing and which of the electrodes is reducing electrodes? Since reduction is taking place here, the cathode is known as reducing electrode, reducing electrodes. Reducing electrode, and out here oxidation is taking place, so anode is called oxidizing electrode. This question also is a common question, we have asked many times in ICC. Name the reducing electrode in the electrolysis of an electrolyte, any compound. Reducing electrode will be cathode and oxidizing electrode will be always anode. Okay, one thing I forgot to tell you now, I am going to tell you now. This is we are supplying current and we are causing electrolysis. That is, we are causing reaction to take place at cathode and anode. What is the main role of the electrodes which we are using? What is the main role of the electrodes? Main role of the electrodes is to discharge the ions. Whatever ions are there in the electrolyte, to discharge them. This cathode is discharging this ion, making it neutral. Anode is discharging negative ion, making it neutral. Discharging is removing the charge. So the main role of electrode is to discharge the ions. And of course, they are good conductors, they are conducting plates only, but their main role is to discharge the ions. Now we have two types of current, AC and DC. AC is called alternating current and DC is called direct current. What type of current do we supply for electrolysis? The answer is DC. AC cannot be used. Don't say DC current. DC means only direct current. Don't say again current. Just say DC we use. DC means only direct current. So don't say further current because current already is coming in DC when you say DC. So we use only DC here for this purpose. Why not AC? Because DC one side is positive, one side is negative. So DC only will provide cathode and anode. AC's direction is not fixed. It doesn't have a fixed direction. This side is positive, this side it doesn't have like that. Just now I showed you the diagram that where one end was positive, one end was negative. So that was a DC source. And AC does not have a positive end, or negative end fixed. It doesn't have positive and negative end. So an AC does not provide cathode and anode. So electrolysis is not possible. Electrolysis means they are discharging the ions. Ions are getting discharged. If the ions are not discharged, they will again attract, combine, and they will form again lead bromide. So you cannot separate unless the ions are discharged. If they are discharged, so no, they have no force of attraction between them. No, that means they are separated. Lead separated and bromide is changing into bromine out here. That also got separated. That is how we are separated. So DC only is used for electrolysis, not the AC, because AC does not provide cathode and anode. Hence electrolysis does not take place. Hello? Okay. So I think electrolysis of molten lead bromide is also done. Now we are doing next one, electrolysis of acidified water. Acidified water, that is acid mixed water, or we call it acid related water. It's all the same. Or indirectly we can call it dilute H2SO4. This is also the water in which sulfuric acid is mixed. That is only called dilute acid or dilute H2SO4. This one we have in syllabus. So if they say write on the reactions of electrolysis of dilute H2SO4, or they say acidified water, is all the same thing. So pure water cannot be electrolyzed because it does not contain iron. It is a non-electrolyte. So first I write here water H2O. What iron does it contain? Only in the presence of the acid. Otherwise it will not contain iron only. So this will be breaking or forming ions only in the presence of the acid. This contains hydrogen ion and hydroxyl ion, like this OH minus. And this is mixed with H2SO4. We write H2SO4 here. H2SO4 also will contain hydrogen ion and sulfate ion. We write here hydrogen ion, but 2 are there, so write 2 at the back. Sulfate will keep out here, minus 2. One. Okay, now let us complete this today. Electrolysis of acidified water or dilute H2SO4. Pure water will not give iron because it is a non-electrolyte, but when we mix it with the acid, particularly the sulfuric acid, it forms ions. Since water forms ions only in the presence of acid, so it is known as the electrolysis of water is an example of catalysis. C-A-T-A-L-Y-S-I-S. Because alone it does not conduct, but with the help of acid it is able to form ions and electrolysis is possible. So this is an example of catalysis. Now I write on the reaction at cathode and the anode. Cathode reaction and the anode reaction. Can you guess what material are they made of? Cathode and the anode? Yeah, because oxygen is there, so we are using this one material is platinum now. So cathode discharges the positive ions. Positive ions, either you can take this one, they are same thing. So any one you can take. If you take this, you have to take the reaction in 2 steps. If you take it, you have to do it in 1 step only. Suppose I take this one, I write like this, H plus 1, then plus 1 here, I write H. Then H will become H plus H, together becoming H2, hydrogen gas. And the anode will attract the negative, but there are 2 different negatives. One is OH, one is sulfate. Now the question, which one will it discharge? Which one of them will be preferably discharged? OH will be discharged and sulfate. Whichever is lower in the activity series, they will be discharged. Whichever is less active, they only will be discharged. Suppose here you have the choices sodium and zinc. Which of them will discharge? Two different things. Which will discharge? Zinc, because zinc is less active, that will discharge. If you are having a choice between iron and copper, which will discharge? Copper is below, so yes. Hydrogen and copper, which will discharge? Copper is just below hydrogen. You are having a choice between copper and silver, which will discharge? Yes, because silver is below. Copper and gold, which will discharge? Yeah. Same way, in the negative side of OH is the least active. OH is least active and sulfate is the most active. Which will discharge? OH and sulfate, which will discharge? OH will discharge. We write here OH over here. Then -1 it will change into OH. But OH how to make it stable? Like H I made it stable by this H plus H becoming H2. So OH I will be writing like this 4OH together it will give you 2H2O plus O2 plus oxygen. You can check balance about 2 to the 4H and 4O. 2O plus 2O, 4O is becoming. So what are the products at the cathode? Cathode product is hydrogen gas and anode product is oxygen gas. This is the only case now where metal is not obtained at the cathode because the cation was hydrogen and hydrogen is not a metal. Other than this, we will have sodium, we will have other things. Those metal will get at the cathode. Question is a compound is electrolyzed and the product at the cathode is not a metal. So, what is the cation in the electrolyte? What is the cation? We say hydrogen because hydrogen is not a metal. Cation name is hydrogen. Hydrogen on top plus 1 you write it. Okay, that way. So, hydrogen and oxygen, both of them are colorless gas. How will we identify them? We identify them by the ratio of their volume. What ratio hydrogen and oxygen volume will be? Hydrogen is to oxygen volume ratio will come 2:1. We will get greater part of hydrogen formed in comparison to the oxygen. And the actual logic don't go by this because you see 1 so then you think that it is 1:1, why it is 2:1? It is not on the basis of this. It is on the basis of this. Suppose we have H2O. When H2O breaks, it will give you hydrogen plus oxygen. Okay, then put 2 here, no, see. This is 2 part, this is how much part? 1 part, no. Ratio is going to be 2:1. So on the basis of this reaction, we write 2:1. So in what ratio that hydrogen and oxygen form, we say 2:1 ratio. Because both of them are colorless gas, so from the quantity of the gases we make out. And you have seen that both of the gases are colorless. Products also understood, no? And they will ask you to write on the products. Okay, one question. It is seen that after some time the conduction stops. I mean electrolysis stops after some time. What could be the reason? What is the possible reason why electrolysis stops after some time? The possible reason is the water formed at the anode. You can see that at the anode there were 2 products. One was water and one was oxygen. Where will that water go? That water will go into the solution. That means in the electrolyte the quantity of water keeps on increasing, whereas the quantity of acid is breaking up. The quantity of acid keeps on decreasing. A time comes when the entire electrolyte changes into pure water. Is pure water an electrolyte? The answer is no. Then the conduction is stopped due to the formation of water at the anode. So remember it. That is the difficulty with this kind of electrolysis. Now there is a diagram based also. They may give a questionnaire. They may show a container here like this with the 2 jars, gas jars, one here and one gas jar. They may show out here like this. 2 gas jars are there, and there are filaments here. There are 2 filaments. Okay, they are showing F and F. Water is climbing up in the first container and also in the second container like this way. And they are marking here A and B. Okay, now question says identify the gas in the jar X and in the jar Y. What are the gases identified in? Both of them are gases. That means we are doing the electrolysis of water only, acidified water only we are doing, because in this case only we have both the products gases. Otherwise we have a metal and a gas form. But just now we are getting both the products in the form of gas. It has to be the electrolysis of water, acidified water only. Can you identify where is oxygen, where is hydrogen? Which container is containing hydrogen and which container is containing oxygen? Tell me. How do you know? Huh?
Sir, X is hydrogen.
X is hydrogen and Y is oxygen. How do you know?
Sir, because water level is low.
Not water, let's say gas is this one. This empty space is the gas. Gas here and what here the gas is over here. In which jar the gas quantity is more? Over here, this much is the gas and what here the quantity of gas is less. So where the quantity of gas is more, that will be hydrogen. You know the ratio 2:1. No? So the gas over here is hydrogen and out here the gas is oxygen. That way we are identifying. Next question is identify the material of the filament. What is the material of the filament? We say platinum, not tungsten. Platinum electrodes we are using. Okay, and now they are saying identify the terminals A and B. A terminal is positive or negative? Which terminal is positive? A or B? Which terminal is positive? Why positive? Why A is positive?
Sir, because hydrogen is obtained over there.
Hydrogen is obtained at positive. Hydrogen itself is a positive ion. It will be discharging at positive. Hydrogen discharges here at the cathode, no? And cathode is negative. So that means A will be negative terminal, B is positive terminal. Your A is cathode and B is anode. Oxygen is negatively charged or negative ion. So that will be obtained at the positive. This is oxygen. So this filament must be connected to the positive side. And then he asked the question, identify the electrolyte. What electrolyte is present in it? What electrolyte? Then you say dilute H2O or acidified water. This is an important diagram. Now, then he asks you, mention one difficulty with such electrolysis. What is the main difficulty with such electrolysis? The conduction stops after a while. Why? Because due to formation of water at the anode.
And because of pure water.
Yeah, the entire thing changes into pure water and stopping the conduction. This is stopping the electrolysis. And this electrolysis is an example of catalysis, because pure water does not conduct electricity or is a non-electrolyte, but with the help of acid it forms ions, so it is an example of catalysis. So understood, no?
Yes, sir.
So till here we are doing, okay, I taught 3 electrolysis today, NaCl, PbBr2 and sulfuric acid. Tomorrow is the off day, so the Monday I will be doing electrolysis of copper sulfate solution, and after that electroplating I will discuss next class. I think next class the chapter will be over. So, thank you for the day.